Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, Noodle here, and today we're going to check out Democracy 3. This can be go ahead and bought on Steam. I think it's like 25 bucks. I saw somebody playing this, and it's kind of along the kind of games that I enjoy playing casually. One of those things where I'm kind of bored, I don't really know what to do, I don't really feel like playing Minecraft or recording, so fuck it, let's play some of this kind of games. Democracy is a pretty slow-paced game, not a lot of action. It's really high in simulation, but really low in anything else. But it's a well-put-together game. I played it a little bit just to go ahead and get the ideas of the controls. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. There's several countries that you can go ahead and be a leader for. First one's the UK, representing Baby Girl. Great Britain. You can also go ahead and be France. If you want to give up immediately and start the game. Germany is also a good one that's up there, along with ye old United States. We also have Canada, you know, America's hat. This is a pretty good country that go ahead and be a part of. And of course you can also be Australia as well. I think we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to do like a little mini series to see how far I can get, like a hardcore challenge kind of thing, just to at least get through the first term. And I kind of want to hit all of these countries to see what their individual problems are. So I think what I'm going to do is I've always considered myself a good leader. I run scenarios in my head that say, if I was president of the United States, this is what I would do. And I think maybe I want to put that to the test. I want to see how good of a leader I could be. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and, I guess I'm gonna, I should start off with a country that I know first, before I branch off into shit that I don't know. So, the first one I think I'm gonna go for is ye old United States. We have lots of problems here. We have a pretty big population. Life expectancy is 78 years. That's pretty low, in the life expectancy range. Not the lowest, but pretty low. GDP, not that great. Poverty is a 16%. Ethnicity, almost 80% white. Not in my area. Fuck no. Obesity rate, 30.6. Yeah, we're a pretty fat country. The Big Mac index is $4.2. And of course, beef consumption is 57 pounds per person. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and term is 4 years. That's fine. Term limit is 2. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and name ourselves the party name. The Misfit Inc. Party. All right. And our opposition. Well, the opposition of Misfit Inc. has always been the Aether and the Nether. So the Aether and Nether Coalition. Alright, so that's the opposition party. Let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's see what problems the United States has. We're inventing the internet, we're fudging unemployment figures, pandering to the media, and complicating the tax code. Alright, so let's get here. Congratulations on your election victory. Alright! Welcome to your new job as president. The lives of all big-ass number of citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of the citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you face re-election in 4 years, 2 terms, so you'll need to monitor the opinion polls, our party membership. Good luck. Alright, so it looks like our health is pretty shitty, and any of you guys who do not live in the United States know that we don't have a socialized healthcare system. It's all private healthcare, and it's really, really expensive. So a lot of people have a lot of health problems. Me, for example, I have really bad teeth. My teeth, like, they're not like falling out and shit yet. But I have lots of cavities. They hurt all the time, and I want to get them fixed. But when you have to pay $500 for each cavity, yeah, I kind of don't have that money. So, SOL. GDP is pretty low. We are a nation of big spenders, but not a lot of collectors. Our unemployment's pretty bad. Crime is pretty high. Poverty is kind of low. We're pretty, like, we're a really stable middle class kind of country. And of course, our education is one of the best, so top notch. So let's go ahead and begin our turn of bosses. All right, so for those of you who have never seen this game before, this screen is very intimidating. There's lots of buttons, lots of colors. Oh shit! I almost knocked over my Jack in the Box thing. And alright, so lots of shit going on here. So I'm just going to briefly cover what all this shit means, okay? All this stuff in the middle here, I kind of have to, like, be in between bubbles here. All the stuff in the middle, this is how everybody views us, okay? So, for example, the retired, the patriotic, and state employees, they fucking love me, okay? But parents, trade unionists, and liberals pretty much don't fucking like me. And like all presidents that are elected, I'm not popular and no one fucking loves me. So I don't know why I got elected in the first place. Alright, now all the bubbles that are all over the place, all over the screen here, they're broken up into different sections, okay? You can see like the little light gray words back here. Like this is the tax section, over here is the economy, welfare, foreign policy, transportation, law and order, and then public services. The blue means that that's nothing that we can change. Those are kind of results of things that happen. Like, for example, crime. We can't directly influence crime, but we can see what influences it to either make it go higher or lower. Okay, so well, I'll explain all the arrows and shit in a second. The white things are things that we can change. These are our policies, and based off of funding that we give them, depends on how they affect things. Red bubbles are things that are really bad. Like, these are the huge problems of what we have to deal with, okay? That's stuff that we have to fix, okay, because it's really bad. What we have here is vigilante mobs, we have antisocial behavior, alcohol abuse, internet crimes, narcotic abuse, we have an asthma epidemic, pollution. What is this? This is skills. Skill shortage for jobs, and then of course we have homelessness as well. Our unemployment is also going to be incredibly high. Where's the unemployment? It's a guy that's laying down. Here we go. Unemployment, pretty high, as you can see. Lots of arrows, lots of different things. When you hover over an icon, it takes a second, but it'll tell you what influences that thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a somewhat easy one that's not too overpopulated. I guess maybe that'll do. Alright, so what we have here is our oh, maybe I should do something. Okay, no, unemployment's bad. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so this is our science funding. Okay, what it's doing is it's influencing things. Okay, the direction of the arrows show what it's influencing. So, for example, science funding is positively influencing technology on the bottom. Okay, so it's positively influencing that. Okay, the red arrow going to unemployment, it's negatively influencing unemployment, which is a good thing. You have to break out the mindset that negative is bad and positive is good, okay? Because there are some things that it's reversed, okay? Like, for example, crime, poverty, alcohol consumption, the equality and homelessness problem are all positively influencing crime. And obviously, we don't want them to influence crime, okay? You can see these little streaming arrows shooting past armed police behind and hitting vigilante mobs. That means that crime is severely influencing vigilante mobs, okay? So for that, we want to go ahead and limit or reduce the amount of crime, so that way it reduces the amount of positive influence to vigilante mobs, so that way vigilante mobs will no longer be a problem. It's also negatively influencing everyone and tourism at the bottom right. So we obviously don't want that to negatively influence anything. Okay, and drug addiction on the very bottom is positively influencing crime. So you can see how these are kind of interacting with each other. Okay, so although we can't do anything about the blue bubbles, we can do something about the white bubbles, and that's what we're really doing. Okay, like for example, the police force is negatively influencing crime. Okay, so if we increase our police force, it will negatively influence crime more, therefore lowering the crime and therefore lowering everything else around it. Okay, so we have quite a lot of shit on our plate, and in this game you can really like spread yourself really thin and go into massive debt. Okay, and as everybody knows, in the United States, we have a huge debt problem, like huge debt problem. Okay, so one of the first things I want to go ahead and tackle is I need to get me some monies. If we have more money in savings, then more foreign investors are going to want to go ahead and invest in our economy, and that'll just boost everything. Another way to increase money is to hit the unemployment rate, get people working. If they work, they pay taxes, and if they pay taxes, the government gets more money. By just jacking up taxes, you can really hurt the poverty level, thus creating more unemployment, because people don't want to work if they have to pay like 50% tax. So that's just a checks and balance that we have to do. Now I'll go ahead and explain the rest of the screen. Up here in the top, we have our fists, our power fists. These are like power points that we have each turn. Okay, every time we do a turn, we get more points based off of how our cabinet members appreciate us. I'll get into the cabinet members in a minute. But we have 27 points to do whatever we want. Now this is a turn-based game, so I can sit here on the screen all day long and it's not going to do anything. Not until I hit the next button, which is all the way over here to the right. There we go. That will take me to the next segment of my term. I'll get to that in a second. Alright, so our income right now is 1.192 billion. Our expenditures is how much we're spending. We're spending 1.2 billion, which means that we are at deficit $75 billion every single turn. Okay, that means our debt right now is 300 billion. This is the shit I inherited. Okay, so although there's no real way to make a positive balance without really fucking everybody over, we can at least try to balance it out so our debt doesn't get too high, our deficit stays a little bit low, or even in the positive. So we're gonna have to reduce spending, we're gonna have to increase income. And this is the problem that people have with big government is nobody likes taxes. Everybody's like, the government spends too much money and they tax us too much. Well, if we lower taxes but we increase spending, then we're gonna flip upside down and the entire economy will collapse. So although I'm not one for paying taxes, and everybody's like, well, I don't know why I have to pay school tax. I'm a school teacher. I don't know why I have to pay military tax because I'm in the military. Like, calm the fuck down, calm your tits. It all goes into a big collective pool, and this really shows you how it works. Alright, so now we have this little clock here with this little blue dot. Alright, this is my term. When the blue gets all the way to the end, it's election time, and I get to see whether or not I get reelected. Now, it's almost impossible to fix all problems by the end of your term, although it is possible. Okay, but this is America. Let's be honest, America, we have big fucking problems. So as long as we can get, oh crap, excuse me. Okay, so alright, so what this is showing you is that at the end of it, this is when the election time comes by. Now every time I click next, it progresses this bar by 3 months. Okay, so that means I have 16 turns in total before election time. That's not really a lot of time. So we really need to start tackling these problems and start getting things moving. First things first, let's go ahead and let's see what we can do about generating funds. Okay, and I think that one of the first things that we should go ahead and tackle is vigilante mobs, antisocial behavior, and then alcoholism. Now, one of the ways that we can tackle alcoholism, as you can see here, one of the biggest influences here is poverty and alcohol consumption. Duh. You don't have alcohol abuse without alcohol consumption, right? So how can we affect alcohol consumption? Alcohol consumption is affected by, well, it's affected positively, which is bad, by the GDP. If the country's broke, then everybody feels depressed and they start turning to drinking. Unemployment does a little bit. It seems that just the alcohol law in total negatively influences it, which means we have a pretty good alcohol law. It could be stricter, but let's not do that, because the last time we outright banned alcohol, crime went through the roof, so we don't want to do that. But it seems like nothing is really affecting it effectively. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go up here to this little light bulb here, and this is going to be our policy idea. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the tags, and we need to get an alcohol tax. Okay, so what we have is it takes 1 quarter to go ahead and implement this. The initial cost is 30 of our power points. Okay, but we only have 27, so We don't have enough. Okay, that's why it's in the red zone. It's not going to cost us anything, but it can generate up to $98 billion. Okay, so keep that in mind. $98 billion will go ahead and put us in the surplus just by doing that. And by doing that, we're going to go ahead and decrease alcoholism in general and create a bunch of money. That money we can go ahead and pump into our police force, and that in itself will drop vigilante mobs, antisocial behavior, and of course drug addiction as well. So short of doing that, let's see if we can go ahead and get something else. Where is it? Law and order. Here we go. Community policing. A lot of people don't really like community policing. They think it's kind of intrusive. I'm a big fan of community policing because I think it caters the police to a certain area versus cramming police throughout a nationwide area. Like, for example, if a police officer lived in your neighborhood or, you know, worked in his own community, that police officer would be better serving his own community than he would serving, like, I don't know, a rich area of town or an extreme poor area of town, depending on where you live. Because each area has their own, I guess, their own statistics and their own problems. For example, I keep bringing this back to my job at Domino's. We went to this class and they were like, hey, you know what? We always hear this excuse that, oh, people want free stuff. People want free stuff. That's why we don't, you know, we're kind of rude to them, blah, blah, blah. And the lady was like, I worked 15 years and I've only seen it happen twice. So where somebody wanted something free and they just kept wanting it. At our store, it's a daily occurrence. Somebody will buy something small, wings, hot wings. We'll give it to them. We cook it properly. We season it properly. We box it correctly, correct price and everything, hand it to them. They take it, walk away, come back 5 minutes later, claim that it's burnt, claim that it's undercooked, claim that it's raw. We don't have raw food at Domino's. It may be cold, but it's not raw, okay? And they want, not only do they want a refund of their money, but they want something to compensate them. And it happens all the time. So in our, like, to have that broad general of nobody wants things for free, just give it to them. Like, if we did that, it only increases that kind of negative vibe in our store. But if we had that kind of control in each individual store, they would know that our store is really low income people, people who are generally like really scammy, and so our restrictions would go up, but at the same time our losses, money, wages would go down. So I'm a really big fan of community policing, working with the community rather than attempting to control it. Community policing encourages the police to better understand the needs of the local community, especially in areas with ethnic minorities. Critics see it as an expensive waste of money, which could be spent on more direct methods to cut crime. However, it is a little expensive. As you can see, it's anywhere between 2.3 and 15 billion, but in my opinion, well worth it. So, estimated popularity with voters, it's not popular at all. And in fact, 37% of the people don't really like it. So we're going to go ahead and implement it anyway. But then I'm in charge. All right, so as you can see, now we have all these charts here. Right now, we can raise and lower this little bar for free. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and revert that. And what we have here is liberals. It'll go ahead and increase our liberal rating. Yay. It'll reduce crime. It reduces violent crime. It reduces racial tension. It increases our liberalism, which is good because these are voters. It reduces antisocial behavior, and it reduces alcohol abuse. Look how much it reduces it. That's a lot. That is a fuck ton in this game. 20% off of antisocial behavior, another 20% off of alcohol abuse, and that's only spending 8.81 billion. Okay, so that's just a medium thing. If we went ahead and jacked it up a little bit to high, like let's say we spent 12 billion. Look at that. Oh, let me get it closer to 12. Yeah, 12. There we go. 26% and 26%. That's fucking ridiculous. This has positive all around. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and implement this. So yes, $12 billion. I approve. Minister Philip Miller, your effectiveness is 43%. You're not really all that great, but we will go ahead and push it through anyway. So apply the changes. There you go. All right. So now, as you can see, nothing's really changed here. But we did get a new policy, which is our community police. I think this is it. Yep, community policing. Now, you see how everything is gray? Gray arrows streaming everywhere? This means that it has... Sorry, that's my timer, so I know how much time is up. all the gray that's kind of going out everywhere, this is sort of like saying it has an effect on these things, but it has a neutral effect because the policy hasn't been in place. It takes one term for it to kick in. All right, so there's that. We don't really have enough for alcohol tax, but what I'm going to do is we can roll over points. But now you can really only roll over so many points. So we kind of want to keep that 26 power points. We want to drop that down a little bit. Community policing will go ahead and stop narcotics. It'll help alcohol consumption. It'll help antisocial behavior. It'll help drop crime, which is great because when the crime goes down, everything else gets affected. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and affect a lot of things. We're going to need to go ahead and jack up taxes as well, unfortunately. As you can see, petrol tax not only negatively influences our GDP, which is bad, it negatively influences our motorists and car usage, but it increases our environmentalists and it gives us more money. Cigarettes negatively influence equality and tobacco usage, which is fine. Everybody, like, in the United States, we love smokers, okay? But it positively increases poverty, which is also kind of a bad thing. But this generates $16.47 billion a quarter. I need one more fucking point, and I can go ahead and jack it up. Look, just by jacking it up to, that was at what, like 11%? If we jack it up to 21%, I'm getting $30 billion a quarter. Tobacco usage is cut in half. Equality took a little bit of a hit. Poverty took a little bit of a hit. Everyone kind of doesn't like me, but it's not really that much. I mean, look, I can jack it up all the way. Everyone can fucking hate me, okay? But my poverty level goes up a little bit, which sucks, but it's not that bad. We can hit that with tax breaks and things like that. Equality takes a little bit of a dip, but look at this. Tobacco usage goes down a lot, and we make $101 billion a quarter. That's fucking ridiculous. So we need one more point, so we can't really do anything here at that level. Let's see what else we can implement here. So we did a law and order, and some of the things that we have here are tasers. That's going to cost us a lot. Police drones, Racial Discrimination Act. I think this kind of does with poverty, but it's not really that expensive. Let's see what else we have. We have gambling, which is a really good source of income, and it lowers crime rate. Public services. Let's go ahead and do this. We have a really big problem with education in our society. Now, our education is high, but we have a lack of skilled workers. Adult education subsidiaries does cost a few $billions, but it will go ahead and take care of that as well. We also have healthcare vouchers, which is really good, but it's really expensive. Look at that. 46 billion to 351 billion. That's a lot of fucking money. Youth club. Everybody loves youth clubs. See, it's very popular with the voters. It's not really that expensive, but it helps reduce crime in the long run, which is good. And it's really good. Like, families really like it. So that's fine. Eye tests. It's pretty expensive, but it's fine. Public libraries. I think what we're going to do is do the adult education thing. It's kind of expensive, 3 to 7 billion. But it will increase our skill short, decrease our skill shortage, which is good. I mean, look at this. We're paying 5. If we jack it up to like 7, max it out, our education goes up a little bit. Our productivity goes up a little bit, which is good because this affects our money in the end run, and it drops the skill shortage like fucking crazy, 18%. It does take 2 days to go ahead and completely do everything, and it takes 8 rotations to really hit maximum on the skill shortage, which is fine. We'll go ahead and apply the changes, and for that, we're going to go ahead and skip off to the next day. So that's it. I'm going to cut it here. It was a lot of information. This will go ahead and speed up in the next episode. The next episode, when we come back, we're going to go ahead and hit next. I'm going to go ahead and show you the next screen. We're going to go ahead and see what effect this has had on our nation. Okay, so join me here next time. Thank you for watching, for everybody. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy you guys watching, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.